Hello everyone, my name is Dr.Dezzy, the owner and doctor physician of a holistic medical center called Renewed Medical Center, Mind Body Medicine. This time around, I really want to talk about my story because my story is really what I'm trying to do here at Renewed Medical Center. I'm actually trying to replicate my own healing journey. My problem started about 12, 13 years ago after a divorce. And you know that it's not that the problem started at divorce, but the years of marriage left me with lots of emotional pain and wounds. Not that I knew it then, because at that point I was just trying to survive. This is retrospectively thinking all the wounds and the pain. But anybody who has been through any kind of relationship drama, marriage, divorce, knows that divorce ranks as one of the highest stressors of human life ever. As much as loss itself, you're really losing quite a lot in a marriage, not just your partner, but so many things, that financial losses. You might as well, a part of you died, but my problem started then. It was soon after the divorce I found that my blood pressure was sky high. I mean, my blood pressure that used to be like a baby, 120 over 80, 120 over 60, started recording at 200 over 110. Prior to the divorce and marriage, I was really very physically strong, had no health problem whatsoever, none, zero. But at that time, soon after my divorce, everything really fell apart. And being the doctor that I was, all I knew was I was tired, I was not feeling too great. But very soon it became obvious to me that, this is not me at all. I went from merely feeling tired to having difficulty waking up in the morning, having difficulties even tackling my day. And through various coincidences, my first take outside of traditional medical center was through an accountant of mine who introduced me to homeopathy. So basically, over the years, I've tried homeopathy, Ayurvedic medicine. There was one year I was vegan. There was another year I played raw. I've tried Chinese medicine. I've had acupuncture. I've tried acupressure. Name it all. I've done them all. And what's interesting about this kind of emotional pain or whatever disease it is, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, hormonal dysfunction, name it, I had them all. My hormones weren't working. I didn't have the energy to get up. I had pains from head to toe. And my house right now has evidence of everything you need to control pain physically, in every way. I have contraptions to stretch me out, to warm me up, name them, I did them. And basically what it was, and I did not realize it, was I was really undergoing a journey into healing. But what is amazing retrospectively is that I was open enough to not accept. I think the driving force in me was I wasn't willing to accept this was it. My kind of medicine wasn't helping me. You run the lab tests, I did MRIs, I did CAT scan, nothing shows. The only one thing that kept showing in my blood test was what we call C-reactive protein, which is the inflammatory marker that your body was very inflamed. That was off the chart for me. But my blood cells, my chemistries, even my thyroid function was normal. Whereas physically, I felt like what they call walking cups. And you know what? The ICD-10 actually has a classification called the walking cup syndrome. I really felt like a walking cup, like a zombie. I could barely function 2 hours out of the 24 hours without wanting to crawl back into my bed. The other thing was I had lots of pain. I had all my hormones at least from a medical point of view, were totally whacked up. So I journeyed from searching, reading, trying to figure out how to heal myself. The long and short of it was, whatever modality I tried, whatever healing technique or herbs or homeopathy or anything I did, I would feel temporarily better, maybe for 2 weeks and at most 1 month, but I was back to again struggling until I came across ozone therapy. And how I came across ozone therapy is something short of the universe basically making that happen. I had a dream, and in that dream, I was introduced to some form of medicine or therapy, but I didn't know what it was. But I was shown this therapy. I was shown how it works. And what I was shown, the best I could really tell you is that it looked more like something like a washing machine in a high-tech place, like a washer. So in my green journal, I said, something that is washing something in a high-tech, very high-tech. Well, 4 weeks or 6 weeks after that, a very close friend of mine, Laura, tried to visited me, and she said she needed to share something with me. And at that point, I was really despondent, despairing, cynical, because nothing was working. I was barely crawling out of my bed, and I was in a lot of pain. So Laura tells me, have I heard of ozone therapy? And I'm like, no, I've never heard of ozone therapy. And she said, telling me how her dad, whom I knew had acute leukemia, is actually still alive because of ozone therapy. And over the years, Laura will show me her father's blood testing, and the last time he barely had any blood left, and he was discharged from the cancer center, basically to hospice to die. And at this time when Laura visited me, it was 4 months from discharge, and he was still alive, and she brought me the blood work. And at this point, the blood work had gone from 2,000 to about 27,000, and he was doing very well. So, but at this point, I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to hear. I was ready to die. I didn't like my quality of life. I was merely existing and surviving. Laura left 1 or 2 days after that. I remembered my dream, and I'm like, I went to research ozone therapy, and in researching about ozone therapy, I found that how it works was basically the pictorial or visualization I had seen in my dream. And I was like, wow. So I researched more, and even here where I was, there was a doctor who was offering ozone therapy. So I signed up. And the long and short of it was, within 2 months of doing ozone therapy, I was able to get up and go and have a normal 8-hour day. Remember, I was barely doing 1 or 2 hours a day. I went to 8 hours a day. I didn't have any side effects from ozone, nothing whatsoever. What happened was, for the next 6 months, my energy got better and better. All the pain started disappearing away. I started tolerating food I couldn't tolerate. My hormones started balancing out. I started feeling human, And with the energy I got after getting ozone therapy and feeling more like myself, almost like I was recovering myself that had disappeared for 12 or 13 years, I had the energy to socialize more. And the one thing I wanted to do with my newfound energy was to do meditation, because the last 12 years of really holding my energy to myself made me more introspective, made me go inward, and I had developed a very advanced meditative practice. And I loved that. I loved my newfound spiritual self. I loved where I was spiritually, even though physically I was not in a good place. So I pulled some of my friends, told them I wanted to do meditation group, and we all came together and we will meet once a day in my living room. And from meeting all those women and meditating, one of them talked about EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. I had read about EFT in the past years, but never went in depth about it. But somewhere, something lit up for me. EFT, I'm going to find out more. It felt like it was about right. The energy was about right. So all of us started exploring EFT. Soon after, there was an international conference on EFT by Tapping Solution. I forgot his name. Around February, we all kind of subscribed, and I was into it. I was going to delve into EFT. So I delved into EFT, owned it completely, and that was where I started recognizing that really the least of my problem was my physical problem, but that most of my problem was emotional pains and hurts of the past that I had swept under the carpet. So with EFT, I started bringing back all those emotions. You know, you start tapping, and one layer after the other, all those emotions, I started addressing them. The long and short of it was, at 2 or 3 months of really delving into EFT and practicing EFT, but of course also becoming more mindful of my emotional self, I got up one day and everything had dissolved. And for me, it dissolved in the sense that I could not eat most foods. I could not eat egg, I couldn't eat bread, I couldn't eat any milk product. I reacted like a shock reaction when I ate things. If they were just not vegetables or roots, I would react to most food. Even digesting meat, although I did not react to meat, I had problem digesting meat. But anyway, the long and short of it was I got up one day and I was able to eat food, and I'm still eating food. My energy, I could not, and I'm now able to function, if not 25 hours out of 23 hours. I keep getting better and better. And it was a big, big revelation to me. After all these years of putting stuff in my body, doing herbs and doing that, that the problem wasn't my body, that the problem was all my emotional pain. So with that revelation, and also the knowledge I had gathered about integrative medicine, about all the medicine I had practiced and put in myself, I decided to open Renewed Medical Center. That's where I knew that people can heal if you address and ask them about themselves. If you could ask that person, what were your losses? Did you lose your mom? Did you lose your dad? How was that marriage? How was this? How is your relationship with your partner, your children, your loved ones? Between all those things where we create our emotions is where we live well or we breed diseases. And in the next few videos, I'm going to explore in details about EFT, and I'm going to talk more in details about what ozone is, how ozone heals, how I believe that ozone is the most powerful medicine. And we're yet to even mine what ozone therapy is. As of right now, 2019, as I'm recording this video, I have a patient, Erica Wright, who is cancer-free because of the combination of attending to her emotional self and ozone. It's not enough to do ozone, neither is it enough just to attend the emotion. You need to attend the body, the mind, and the spirit. All that has to be attended to in an integrative fashion. Ozone, Renewed Medical Center really is an epitome of where medicine and all healing practices ought to be at. That we need to attend the whole person. And what the body does is it follows you. If you're able to heal the emotions, the body will heal itself. Thank you all for listening. And if you want to consult me, please You can book on renewedcenter.com. There is a book button. We can consult over Skype. We can consult over teleconference, wherever you are. If you really want me to listen to your story and help you heal, please call Renewed Medical Center or visit us on our website. Also, subscribe to our channel, Dr.Dezzy, and also join us on Facebook at Renewed Med Center. And thank you for listening. Have a good year.